Hi, everyone. My name is Anna, and I am the creator and founder of Evolve1111. Welcome to the weekly message. This week, I want to talk to you about you, and I am going to use me as the example. So, if you were to speak to your higher self, to your child self growing up, and you looked at yourself now and everything that you've achieved, would you be happy? Would you still be joyful about who you are? Do you still feel like you've been faithful enough, like you've been loving enough, giving enough? How would you feel really about yourself? And if you had advice to give, what would the advice be that you would give your younger self? What would you say now at this age? I have about a week until I'm 55 years old. And when I look back at being younger, I see that there were times in my life where I struggled a lot. And I found a lot of tenacity. I found a lot of self-sufficient ways. I found that there was a lot of times that I was stubborn when I didn't need to be. I found that there were times that people tried to give me advice and I thought I knew better. And if I had the chance to do that all over again, I would tell my younger self, hey, listen, life could be a little bit easier if you would just cooperate, but it just doesn't work that way. In life, we are forced to go through many things, and all of those things lend to who you are. And I think a lot of us would go back and think, gosh, it could be easier. It could be better if we just would have done it a different way. But the truth is, and the real truth is that you have to go through all of those things. It's required. There's no other way to get through life. It's the law of the universe. And the reason that those trials and tribulations are given to you is so that you can find your way to your highest self, so that you can find your way back home to your loving Father when your life here on earth ends. So what I want to say to you is that you should be glad for the struggles that you've had. You should feel blessed at the struggles that you've had. I've had many struggles in my life. As you've been watching these videos, you have heard about them. You've seen them. You know about a lot of them. One of my very first videos talked about some of the very adverse things that happened to me in my life. And those are things that people didn't even know about. People that know me well, people that know me from my community, people that have known me my whole life, people who went to my church, people who were part of my family. I mean, my own family members didn't know some of those things. And it's because, we keep those buried deep inside and we don't really talk about them. The difference between what other people do and what I do is I'm out here telling people all my junk, and I could be afraid of that. I'm not, because I know I'm not the only one. And when I share my experience and how I was able to become a faithful, obedient, joyful servant of God, and finding love and peace and joy and forgiveness and all the things that I ever did in my life from the time that I was a child until now, I've lived an amazing life. I have lived the best life. And I'm not afraid for people to see my battle scars. I'm not afraid for them to see my wounds. And I'm not afraid for people to learn from the things that I've had to learn from. So what I just want to say to you this week is be proud of yourself. Be proud of everything that you've gone through. And if you could go back and talk to yourself, you could tell your younger self, it could be easier, but why would you? Why would you want that? Why wouldn't you want to experience all that if it brought you to a place of higher security in your faith and closer to your ultimate goal of, being saved and being with your Father. So I hope that the message resonated for you this week, and I wish you a great week ahead. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.